Namaste from Enlightened Thoughtworks. Let's understand how heat, light, with its therapeutic geometry uplift us. In this video, we shall consider three sources of heat and light: the sun and the lamp in two forms. Sun, which is considered the ultimate source of energy, of which heat and light are the visible forms. It also consists of the invisible radiations. Agni, the fire that consists of heat, is also considered to be the energy that purifies anything that you give it. Offer anything to the fire and it will be converted back into the five elements known as the Panchabhutas. So does that mean that if we offer our illnesses to the Agni, it would destroy the illnesses within us? Of course, why not? There is a proper scientific process in our Vedic Shastras known as the Agnihotra. If you haven't heard of it, probably we would do that some other time. But this is a process which is done early in the morning at sunrise and at the sunset. Okay, it can be done in your house and by the individuals of your home. It's a very simple process, but the effects have been scientifically proven for Agnihotra. The reason for this is really simple, because at the crack of dawn and dusk, the radiations that are emitted through the sunlight help in ionizing and cleansing your nervous system. Okay, and that's how it gives a fantastic effect, not only for you but also the cleansing is done about several meters in and around where you perform this Agnihotra. Agni is considered to be alive and has been revered in the oldest of scriptures such as the Rig Veda. Light is also part of the fire's nature. The sun emits heat and light, so does the oil lamp lit at home. One could argue that don't bulbs and tube lights do the same thing? Of course. But heat and light, when in the form of the sun, also emit life force or the energy to sustain healthy living. Isn't staying indoors without exposure to the atmosphere or sunlight a prime reason for illnesses? Well, how can we be sure about this life force emitted by the sun? Spend some time basking in the early morning sun. We all know it helps in improving the vitamin D levels. In simple words, it provides the necessary energies for these vitamins to be produced and sustained in the body. It is a life-giving force. Do we find this capability in bulbs or tube lights? No, right? Okay, now let's change the perspective slightly. Let's look at it astrologically. Fire is associated with the planetary energies of Mars, while Sun's energies are considered to be healing with fire, light, and vitality, or you can call that as Prana Shakti. Tube lights, bulbs, and artificial lights, shadows, darkness, ignorance, illness are associated with the shadowy characteristics of planets such as Rahu, the creator of eclipses. Well, Ketu and Saturn are also planets with similar characteristics, but there's a lot more to them. So during the trying times such as these, where everyone is suffering from infections and pandemics and so on, it is good to stay closer to the sun, or at least spend an hour in sunlight and light as many diyas as possible at home, or at least keep them close to yourself. These are good ways of expelling illnesses as well, which I feel is a fantastic initiative by our PM, Modi ji. So let's see how light, heat, vitality have multifold benefits. Let's understand them with examples. When we light a lamp or the Diya at home, the radiations from the Diya help in ionizing and cleansing of our systems. We didn't know about this, right? How could we be sure of this? Well, it's an accepted axiom that the light expels darkness and the associated fear. Be sure, let's practice a well-known technique known as Jyotirdhyana. Here, you meditate in front of this Diya for a few minutes. If you are ill, sad, angry, depressed, or passing through a rough phase in life, you can try this technique. You can feel the difference within the first 2 sessions itself. Just a few minutes is sufficient. Now, you can again try the same technique sitting in a room with a bulb or tube light on, but without the Diya. Here also you will experience a positive difference, but there is something more to it. Try it and find out how you can differentiate between meditating in front of the Diya and meditating without it. Secondly, it also produces a geometry that resonates with our brain, the mind, through the eyes. Let's take a look at it. So we are taking an example using the sunlight firstly, then the benzoin, which is known as the dhupa or sambrani in the Bharati Sanskriti, and then the lamp, which we call it as Diya. These geometries have been associated to different shapes in the Rig Veda, but for the sake of convenience, we shall take only the geometric forms we are already familiar with. Here, in the sunlight, we are joining the endpoints of a single ray to produce an isosceles triangle. The same goes with the benzoin. Here, the triangular shape seems very prominent as the fire extends from edge to edge of the benzoin base. Consider the Homa. Here also, the fire extends from edge to edge. It should be noted that the fire always has the pointed edge facing upwards, even if you invert its base. This is a resonating geometry. Our eyes and brain resonate positively to this geometry. We do cover it in a lot more depth as a part of our training sessions. Now let's look at the Diya. The shape is very similar to that of a flower petal. If we join the endpoints, the shapes that appear again include the triangle on top and the rectangle at its base. This shape fosters positive energy and stability in a weak or an ill individual. Bharat Paddhat ways of using these geometries help in uplifting a person's health. So let's begin with worshipping the sun, the moon, and lighting a Diya at home or workplace or wherever you spend most of your time, so that it helps us uplift positively. Thanks for your patience. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Namaste.